Hey guys, this is Omer from MMOs.com with another quick weekly news recap of all major MMO news and announcements for the week ending September 19th, 2016. This is number 61 of the recap, and the first bit of news this week comes from Hi-Res Studios regarding Paladins. Yes, Paladins, a game most of you probably forgot about. The news is that Paladins Open Beta officially launched this week, and the game is available on Steam now as well. Paladins has come a long way since closed beta back in November of 2015. The game has undergone numerous transformations and is now an arena shooter akin to Overwatch, except with customization options. Players customize their growth as the game progresses with items, and instead of leveling up during a round and picking new cards, players simply select all the cards they want and equip them outside of the game before the match begins, to enhance abilities they like the most on their favorite characters. The game launched with quite a bang and hit about 5,000 concurrent users on the first day, and the number quickly jumped to 30,000 a few days later, which is pretty remarkable. We did Sunday Fun Day video for Paladins and had some mixed opinions, but we were generally pretty positive. I will see how the numbers hold up though in the weeks and months ahead though. Up next, Square Enix debuted Final Fantasy XIV's upcoming patch 3.4 with an 8-minute long trailer showing off a bunch of the features. It's for patch 3.4 Soul Surrender, and they showed off a Tokyo Game Show. It showed off Alexander, the final test in Alexander Raid, sky-high apartments, aquariums for houses, 2 new hairdos, 2 new dungeons, PP duels, and much more. The PP duels are a much needed feature. It's something you kind of expect in every MMORPG, but you didn't have in FF14 for a while. The duels are definitely a nice touch though. Patch 3.4 is set to launch on September 27, 2016, and it'll be a big patch. And also Final Fantasy related news I want to throw in there. Square Enix also showed off Final Fantasy XV at Tokyo Game Show, and it was an awesome trailer. Actually, and they're pre-ordering FF15 right after watching that trailer. I was going to buy it anyway, but I took the step to pre-order right after that recent trailer. Square Enix is doing a good job building hype. They know what they're doing. Moving right along, while we have pay-to-play subscription MMORPGs on the mind, World of Warcraft Legion's first raid, the Emerald Nightmare, has been previewed. It's set to launch on the 20th, which should be tomorrow. The dungeon is dubbed the Emerald Nightmare and features a total of 7 different bosses ranging from dragons to a demigod. And one interesting aspect of the raid is that it features multiple paths and portals, and that only 3 of the bosses are faced in a specific order. It's worth mentioning though, the raid is for players minimum level 110, so you have to reach max level before you get in here. And remember, this is the first raid being released with Legion. There'll be more updates going forward. Namely, Wing 2 is set to launch on October 11th, and Wing 3 for Emerald Nightmare is set to begin on the 25th. So again, there's more content to look forward to. And lastly, while related, the PP season is set to begin on the 20th as well, so that's tomorrow. Up next, on the buy-to-play front this time, we have Black Desert Online. They released the Sorceress Awaken earlier this week, and it is actually the second awakening for Black Desert Online, with the Warrior getting their awakening at the end of last month. The Sorceress Awakening is the scythe that allows her to engage multiple foes at once and create whirlwinds of destruction. The video in the background is the official Sorceress Awakening's overview video, and features some nice gameplay with the Sorceress. Also on the Black Desert front, the game is having a sale. It'll only cost $10 for the next 10 days. That sale should last until the 26th or so. The price of the game is down to $9.99. Even the Traveler's Package as well as Explorer packages are 30% off. So if you want to check out Black Desert, you can do so now on the cheap. On a side note, I still think the game will go free to play eventually, just not yet. Maybe another 6 months, but that's, again, just my guess. Moving right along, some news for Dragon's Dogma Online. Yes, some good news actually. There is potential that Dragon's Dogma Online will be going to the West one day. The game is currently exclusive to Japan only, but it does have trademarks filed in the United States and New Zealand. But beyond that, according to Step Power, there was a report stating that the game's director, Kento Kinoshita, probably said that horribly wrong, said that once we've established a solid foundation in Japan, I'd like to consider bringing the game overseas, where there's a great many online game players. So yes, they are thinking about global expansion, so hopefully Dragon's Dogma Online will come to the West one day. Again, there's still no official word, but at least the director of the game is thinking about it. Next up, some news for Atlas Reactor from Tryon Worlds. The game launched open beta earlier this week and is launching fully on October 4th. The game has gained some momentum since it began open beta. The game had about 250 players online at peak times prior to open beta, and it hit about 720 peak since open beta began, so it is gaining momentum. The game kind of toyed with the idea of being buy-to-play, but it looks like it's settled on the free-to-play model now. Keep in mind, there will be a wipe at the end of open beta, and after the 29th, the wipe will take place, and the game will be shut down until it relaunches on October 4th for realsies. I had a lot of fun with Atlas Reactor, and it's a fun game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll probably check it out again when it launches. I'm right along, a small update for SkyForge adds a new PvP game mode called Golem Battle, which is a bit odd because it's essentially a MOBA mode, where 2 teams are placed on either side of a map and kind of have to push lanes in a very MOBA fashion, as well as towers and creeps. The new PvP mode is already out and includes other balance adjustments and other changes to the game, but the much bigger Ascension update is still on the horizon. Moving right along, some news from Square Enix regarding their new mobile MOBA Flame X Blaze. They are entering the mobile MOBA arena with Flame X Blaze, which is a 3v3 MOBA with colorful anime aesthetics. Given the interesting roster of characters Square Enix controls with Final Fantasy, it's surprising they didn't make a MOBA with that franchise. Instead, they make this whole nother franchise, and we'll see how it does. The game is set to launch in open beta in Japan this winter, with a North American release following sometime afterwards. If I'm not mistaken, Vainglory is still the king of mobile MOBAs, but we'll see if Flame X Blaze can give it a run for its money. Back on PC front, we have Tanki X, a tank battler / customizable game that launched in open beta this last week. It's a very arcadey style World of Tanks style game, less customization and very arcadey. You jump in and play. Expect a first look video for this one relatively soon. It's a bit of an oddball too because it's not aiming for realism. It has some futuristic elements where you have laser turrets and all this other crazy jazz. But yeah, expect a video relatively soon. Moving right along, some interesting data from Arc Games regarding Neverwinter. Apparently the game has 12 million players across all platforms. Impressive, but keep in mind that's 12 million players. How they count players is a little bit odd. If you count concurrent players, it's obviously much less. The game gets about 1,500 to 2,000 concurrent users online at any given time on the PC, but it has a bunch of players on console as well. The numbers are 7 million players on PC, 3 million on Xbox One, and 2 million on PS4. And again, those are not concurrent players, those are just people that ever made accounts or ever played the game even once. Still, despite the liberal use of the term player, the game is still doing quite well and it remains fairly popular. Up next, pretty big news for Riders of Icarus. The game's Rift of the Damned update is set to go live on December 28th and includes numerous new updates, including the new Tritofel Rift Zone, a new dungeon, new familiars, and more. Most importantly though, the game's level cap will be increased to 40, so it is making progress towards bridging the gap between the North American and Korean versions. The Korean version is already at 60 at least, so there's still some work to do. And a quick update on the game's player base, it's still doing remarkably well, averaging between 2,000 to 4,000 concurrent users online on Steam alone, which is definitely pretty great. The next and last bit of news this week comes from Galactic Junk, a 3D cartoony space-based team deathmatch game, which actually looks a lot like Dreadnought or Fractured Space meets Robocraft. The news for Galactic Junk is that it entered into open beta this last week, and it basically involves customizable ships and space battles, so we'll see how the game does. It's free to play right now. No word on the final business model though. It is free to play right now though, because it's an open beta. Anyway guys, that's it for MMO News this week. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the podcast. Later guys.